So this is Jedi Steve, and I wanted to talk about a situation with one of my Lyft passengers. So he was in a new industry, but before he was in the oil industry, and he knew a lot about the oil industry, maybe in mid management. So what I do in my environment and how my car's set up and how our events are set up is I get people I raise their for my hippie friends, I raise their vibration. For the people that are more based in science, I get them off of the radio station's same old shit and I get them onto a more selfless, philanthropic radio station. Um, and make it so I'm not forcing it. I compel them to think more globally. And that's why I do the Bob Marley impersonation, because for some reason that image gets somebody to think and get off the signals of the same old shit. So I asked him, what would shifting its incentives? How could we shift the incentives for the oil industry? So an accident like BP. So BP, British Petroleum, had an accident, I think, in the early 2000s. And what they probably could have taken $1 million to fix certain things and put together protocols in place. So they didn't have billions of dollars of problems and their company went out of business. So I wonder why do they choose not to spend that $1 million to protect losing billions? And so I asked him, I said, I think it comes down to incentives. And I'm not about government regulations, but I'm not about government regulations because I met a person before. But sometimes government regulations don't really fix any of these problems. So I was like, how could we create incentives in the industry? So got him off the signal, the same old shit signal, and then I asked him the question, and he's like, for 5 minutes, boom, 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 boom. Really simplified it, and I'm not going to get into it because I didn't remember it. Because most likely you having this information and me having this information won't matter. So, how about if we ask artificial intelligence these questions, and then we form a community, a collective community of people from all walks of life that might be displaced and might be in the oil industry, outside the oil industry, figuring out ways and collectively working to push politicians to do these incentives, push different things. And it's not about the oil industry, it's about many different things. And we're balancing the best of humanity with artificial intelligence. And our role and my company's role is getting people off of the signal of same old shit. Let's listen to a different radio station. Let's listen to a powerful, let's get better concepts into the status quo and shift that narrative. And like people look at like a quote Einstein said, and then they just post it on social media. And most people really don't understand the quote because they didn't go through what Einstein did in order to bring to manifest this quote. They just look at this quote and they might even look at it, oh, that's grammatically incorrect. Like it doesn't fucking matter. If a quote's fucking powerful, it doesn't matter if there was fucking supposed to be a comma there or all this different stuff. A lot of that stuff is you might get on somebody's grammar because they're feeling too good about themselves and they're really confident. So you attack their grammar when they have a fucking powerful idea that will change the world. And then you'll complain that nobody's standing up because people are shitting on them all the time. I got shit on many times. And I'm creating and we're creating and we've been creating this for a long period of time without even knowing which direction we're going into so people won't get shit on as much and we can support this different things and we can shorten the cycle on which would take many years to do we can do in a shorter period of time. And we're putting it out to the collective to not control it. And we're creating, like on one of my earlier videos, I said, I want to go to places that haven't been created yet. And I didn't even know what that meant. But what I was doing is I was putting stuff out there that it's like, yeah, people are excited about a lot of things, but we're better than this. Humanity is better than this. We're fucking better than this. We're fucking better than this. Getting off the cycle. So a lot of people are on the same old shit radio station. And you cannot logically talk to this person until you've gotten them to a transformative radio station. Then the decisions they make from here, this is based on lack, and this is based on scarcity. Right here is based on more abundance. Up here might be too high. It won't be, the idea won't necessarily be grounded. Somebody I mentor, they were asking me about, we're talking about homeless people, and I was like, you know who's probably channeling God? Like, it's probably a homeless person that's sitting there talking to themselves. But they haven't really necessarily made it work in this society. They need to ground, not need to get stuck like most people. They need to be able to ground so they can harness that power, that powerful of that information. But a lot of times people get in positions that gets them stuck. It doesn't get them harnessing the power that we all have inside of us. So I hope you like this. I hope it makes sense to you. I hope you come to one of our events or I meet you in my lift. Peace.